Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like no matter what you do, you just can't measure up? Well, we're going to dig into why that might be. This is a breakdown of the key traits and tactics of a narcissist, and it's all designed to give you some real clarity. Let's jump right in. This quote, this really gets to the absolute heart of it, doesn't it? It's a tough thing to hear, but it's so important for understanding everything else we're about to cover. It's that feeling that with certain people, you are just never, ever going to be good enough. So to really get a handle on their behavior, you first have to understand their worldview. It's like they're looking through a lens that completely distorts reality, and it creates this dynamic that is just fundamentally off balance from the get-go. And here it is, boiled down to its simplest form. In their own mind, they hold themselves to these godlike standards. They're up on a pedestal. And for that to work, for them to stay up there, well, everyone else has to be seen as inherently less than average. And this isn't just a thought they have once in a while. This is their operating system, 24/7. Okay, so if someone sees the world that way, their actions are going to follow a very specific pattern. This isn't just random chaotic behavior. It's more like a playbook, a set of tactics designed for one main purpose: exploitation. See? It's not random at all. Here are 4 of the big ones you'll see over and over again. Think of them as their go-to tools. We've got the sympathy ploy, what we'll call transactional affection, resource depletion, and the shortcut mentality. Let's break each of these down. First up, the sympathy ploy. This is that person who is always sick or completely exhausted, especially right when you need a hand or it's their turn to do something. They're not really looking for your comfort. What they're doing is weaponizing your empathy, turning your own kindness against you so they can get out of things. Next, we have transactional affection. For a narcissist, affection isn't about connection, it's a currency. They'll spend it to get something they want from you, but the second they get it, the transaction's over. And that's why they never seem to remember favors or the nice things you do. To them, it was just a business deal and it's already closed. And that leads right into this next point about resource depletion. They look at your resources, your time, your money, your connections, even your emotional energy, and they see it as theirs for the taking. They literally build themselves up using your foundation, and they usually don't give a second thought to what it costs you. And finally, there's the shortcut mentality. This one says so much about their priorities. Getting what they want is everything, and how they get it barely matters. They will always take the shortest, easiest path, even if it means blowing things up or hurting people along the way. Honestly, they almost seem comfortable with the collateral damage, like it's just the price of doing business. Okay, so we've seen the playbook of what they do. But what in the world is going on inside their head that makes them act this way? Let's peel back the curtain a little and look at the engine that drives all this behavior. Right? This is the question that can keep you up at night trying to figure it all out. And the answer is actually simpler and at the same time way more complicated than you'd think. It really all starts with one single, all-consuming focus. Just look at this. This chart pretty much says it all. The huge majority of their mental energy, their conversation, everything. It just revolves around their own inflated ego. It's why talking to them feels so draining and one-sided. You're not really having a conversation. You're just an audience for their one-person show. And of course, to protect that massive ego we just talked about, they always have an escape hatch ready. For every mistake, for every failure, they have an excuse locked and loaded. And the goal is never to explain what really happened. It's to make absolutely sure that no matter what, none of it was their fault. So what's hiding behind all those excuses? Well, this is kind of surprising. Deep down, underneath that godlike exterior, there's often this deep, profound immaturity, a foolish child. And that's why they have such a hard time making decisions, and why they get so defensive. Any little bit of criticism feels like a full-blown attack on their fragile sense of self. So we've looked at how they see the world, the tactics they use, and what's going on inside their ego. And now we're going to tie it all together with one single idea. A unifying principle that really explains everything. I mean, just think about it for a second. The need to feel superior, the transactional relationships, taking all those shortcuts, that constant self-focus. It all points in the exact same direction. These aren't separate issues. They're all just symptoms of one single motivation. And this is it. This is the big takeaway. Power, control,
dominance. This is the only language they truly get. Every single thing they do is a move to either gain more power or to prove the power they think they already have. It's the master key that unlocks the logic behind all their crazy-making behavior.
So now we've laid out the patterns, the playbook, and the ultimate driving force. Just being able to see these behaviors for what they are, that gives you so much clarity. That's the huge critical first step. And it leaves us with one last really important question to think about. Now that you know this, what are you going to do? What's the next step for you?